Hey everybody, Chomsky after a shower here. Just wanted to get in here really quick. The new Fusion leaked, which you could see over here that I just screen grabbed from the um, Hades video. Uh, in all reality, just go for him. Uh, HP Spirit. The big thing is that he can petrify as well as toss in an HP burn. More importantly, he has the ability to toss in a magma shield. Nubcake's video had just a potential discrepancy with this because Total Guard doesn't really work with Magma Shield, or correction, Magma Shield doesn't count as a hit uh, versus Magma Shield versus Total Guard. I don't know, man. Nubcakes is going to do some stuff, so I'm going to ride his coattails on this one. But one of the reasons why I wanted to make this video was we see the fusion, and now we get to decide if we want to actually do the fusion, if we're able to do the fusion, and or just use them as a token for the future uh, fusion token thingamajigger. For me, it sounds like this guy is a must get. Plus, he's an Argonite. We're going to need those dudes. So this is one of those traditional fusions where we grab so many rares to make into an epic, so many epics into a legendary. So it sounds like maybe 16 rares into 4 epics into this legendary. So let's get set up for this, right? So here's the big deal. Save your energy. If you're not doing anything that's absolutely necessary, then save your energy. Yeah, you're not going to get the recoup that you may want, right? It's 130 every day. But we know that in dungeon diving, we're going to need a boatload of energy. So if you can get a solid head start of, like, let's say 2500 energy, 3000 energy, then that really helps you out. You're not relying on gems or anything like that. So if you can, save your energy. You may be using your energy for the Marius missions or Ramantu or whatever. Awesome, cool. Those champs are pretty huge, so don't stop going for those. But if you're done with that, well, shit, hang on to that. You really don't need to be doing any minnow right now unless absolutely necessary. Like, this is 28 energy with a super raid. So, yeah, that's energy that you could use into saving up for the first dungeon. Like, you really have questions for your own account. Like for me, Tremeria, she's not super important for me to go for masteries right now. Um, I only have 1.4 million silver, so I could blow all this in Spider, and maybe I really don't want to though. We know that champ training is a huge drain on resources, so I know what I'm going to be doing is that when I'm going to be going through like my regular dailies, I'm going to be bringing in some of these Yakmos that I could potentially fuse into Justicar. Um, just this way, when it comes down to Champ Chase, stuff like that, that's going on right now. I have some of these dudes that I could fuse into Relic Keeper. You know, cool. Same thing with Broadma. I have a lot of these, so when it comes down to it, I am waiting for that champ training event that you could use like Ascension as points. You're not going to get that many, but it still helps. Like we're talking like maybe like 5 to 10 per pod. Okay, great, man. That's a potential 40 that I could do. And that just helps eventually. It helps you get into the champ chase mode. All this is just predicated on what you've done before. So this way, when it's that time, you go nuts. So that's a big one, as well as saving your stuff. That's not necessarily the most important. Like Knave isn't that important, so I held on to her for fragments. And same thing with Bells and Artor and Noldwa. I'm gonna be pulling her eventually. So that only helps with Champ Chase. I didn't do that this time because I wanted to make some space. So I did a lot of the fusions and then I pulled my remnants and didn't get much, so I'm deep into Mercy. So I'm just really, 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 really going into that, wanting that mythical. I did pull some sacreds. I pulled like 15 because I really wanted uh, those materials. Didn't get anything too ridiculous, and whatever. That's par for the course. I got another Skull Lord, and that's just bogus. But whatever. So I'm stopping right here. I don't need to get Bayak. And I'll be paying attention to see if I can grab more because those mythic mats are nice. And plus, I could have another 50. But anyways, going back to fusion setup, right? So we're gonna hang on to our energy. We're gonna hang on to our books. Like, just just hang on to everything that you can. Get set up with your clan, with your clan shop. Hopefully energy drops on Tuesday. Uh, always do your clan quests, which I should pay attention if I did mine. Okay, I gotta do some Fire Night, but you know, say get that energy there, get that in sync. Like right now, my energy from my bazaar, I pulled this morning. So, all right, next Friday, I'll have another 300 energy, and that's free. So, get cracking on that as well. Just get synced up. Uh, Again, always be double dipping. Like these events with the tournaments, if it does happen, just make sure you're able to double dip or even triple dip or quadruple dip depending on your missions. You know, that is just the ultimate getting all that lined up. If it doesn't, well, it doesn't. But, like a majority of these are going to be bait. Like I'm not going to be doing Sand Devil even though I need dust, and that's fine. But I'm gonna wait because that's not imperative to what I want to do, and that is I want to I want to get this new fusion with as minimal resource drain as possible. So classic arena, that's always a must. You get a lot of freebies here. Augustine. I did, but that's fine. But anyways, take care of your account and treat it like that. It's okay not to do everything. Pay attention to what the events and when they release the calendar of what you can double dip and triple dip. So in a moment like this where there's a lull, like do some gear cleansing, boost up your silver. You don't want to be silver deficient. There's no reason to pull soul stones because you don't know if there's a deck of fate or anything like that for the epic or what have you. So just hang on to it. Um, I've been sitting on it, and that's fine. Like here with shards, I get enough from Clan Boss that I should be okay without dipping into the wallet because I don't want to do that. Chomsky, free to play. Uh, so, you know, this is looking bleak, but with fusions and stuff like that, I have enough in the bank here. So if you're going to be doing campaign battles like that, this is a it's a pretty big one where you could get some of these, right? Get some of these champs. So when it is time to do campaign battles for your dailies, run some of these and see if you get lucky and grab them. Like that's one way to do it because you just want to be able to fuse those. And if you have rosin, you know, do those epics, do those rares into the epics and stuff like that because once you fuse rosin, that's done. You can't do that again. So yeah, have fun with that. And same thing with Mikage. Just a whole lot there. Like I don't have that, so I don't know what's exactly in play, but you could definitely do that to help you with a summoning rush or a champ chase or anything like that. Not a summon rush, but a champ chase. And that just makes things a lot easier. So this way you're not dipping into shards. Um, I think that's it. Hit me up on Twitch, Gnome on my Chomsky, for additional stuff. And I look forward to seeing you there. Bye bye bye.